Ohayo. Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things Japan. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thanks again for joining us today. Before we start, we would like to give a big thank you to all our listeners who've been giving us feedback,
Thank you so much.
suggestions, and all the positive comments that we have received so far.
Yeah,
It really gives us motivation to
Definitely.
keep doing it.
definitely.
Like recording 2 episodes a week is with our normal schedule. On top of that, it's not the easiest, but knowing that our listeners are looking forward to every episode,
yeah,
it feels good. It makes us want to
feels
continue.
great.
It doesn't feel like work, right?
yeah.
Knowing that
No.
people are actually listening to us.
Like we just talking shit about Japan, and then you guys listening, and you guys even give us some comment, and
Right? And
it's,
learning from us.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like in preparing for every episode, we're learning ourselves.
exactly.
And any points where we can throw in our perspectives or our experience, and you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, thank you so much. We love it.
Thank you.
Other than that, let's start with our episode. So if you go to Japan or you visit any Japanese department store or Japanese bookstore, you notice a crazy big stationery section.
Yeah, colorful,
Huge.
huge.
You can spend like a lot of time browsing through every different type of pen, pencil, any type of stationery. So today's episode is about stationery and why the Japanese are so into their stationery. And I feel like Japanese stationery is the best in the world.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the reasons would probably be because Japan is still a very paper-based society. They do a lot of writing, as well as the anime artists, right? Drawing is huge there. So there's the need for stationery.
Yep.
Stationery is so big is that even there's around the world, Japanese stationery is so big that we saw that there's Japanese subscription boxes for stationery.
Wow.
Where subscribers from around the world can get a monthly box of different types of.
Are they using so much?
People collect it,
Oh, collected.
right? I think
Oh.
people collect.
I thought they love study, so they use a lot.
Yeah, right. That too, writing, drawing. If you are an avid writer by hand or drawer, I'm sure you know
Yeah.
Japanese stationery is the best.
Yeah.
Even you were saying that there's stationery cafes.
Yes. Yeah. Stationery in Japanese, we say bunbogu.
Bunbogu.
Yeah. So there's called bunbogu cafe,
Okay.
and then obviously what they have is bunbogu. So there's bunch of stationery. They say 5,000 different items.
Oh, wow.
So you go to the cafe. Basically, you can grab whatever you want to try it. So
Okay.
pen, pencil, for sure eraser, and tapes.
Okay.
There's a lot of washi tapes.
Yeah, the decorative. tape. Yeah.
Yep. So you
So you can buy stationery there as well.
you can
I'm
buy
guessing,
it,
right?
of course. So you can try first. Then after that, whenever it fit on your hand or fit with your work, then you can buy it.
So if you're a stationery lover or you like to write shit or notebook shit or what's that called? Scrapbooking? Why do you go to a Starbucks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So you can go to Stationery Cafe in Japan.
Yeah. It's in Tokyo.
Okay.
I think it's only one for now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think in general, there's a bunch of those type of cafe and like bookstore, department store. You can always try anyway.
Yes. So we were talking about being an otaku. Being an otaku doesn't just mean loving anime and manga, right?
No.
So obviously there are stationery otakus in Japan, right?
You're obsessed about stationery.
So another reason why stationery is so big in Japan is that they see and respect penmanship as an art form. And to properly express your feelings through writing, like penmanship, you need to have the proper tools.
Yeah.
Right?
Because Japanese people, they will judge by how you write.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I'm no good writing skill.
Like your
Like
penmanship.
Exactly.
Like how it looks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, when I write it down, they always say, like, oh, have you learned how to write?
So they judge your education.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like you showing your personality with writing.
So if you have really neat, beautiful writing, people will assume that you're also a neat person, very organized person as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. So in North America, people always make fun of doctors, how they write so ugly.
Like quick
Really quick and
yeah.
like when a doctor gives you a prescription,
You
the patient can't even read it. Is that the same in Japan?
No, Japan is more like you can read, then also you can tell all the characters like beautiful, like balanced.
So doctors too, right? They write. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I remember doctors, they still use the German or English because like they learn.
Oh, the
like,
medical terminology.
Exactly. So
And
like some doctors still like same. I can't even read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it true that calligraphy is taught from a young age in Japan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember, I think all the kids, Japanese kids, we start learning how to write when we start elementary school.
Okay.
6 or 7 years old. So I don't know in here which grade.
Grade 1, grade 2.
Grade 1, yeah. And then we start using pencil to write down the how to say
the strokes.
The strokes.
Yeah.
With the order.
Yes, exactly. The order is the big thing.
Exactly. You can't just write down, for example, like my Yamanaka. Yamanaka kanji Chinese characters are actually the first character to learn because it's easy, right? Only 1,
Mountain,
2, 3, 4. But again, like I said, has to be from middle 1 and then the bottom 1, 1, 2, and 1.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the order. Then you have to remember, if you don't write with the order, people can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Why this Yama looks different. And they know,
when I was a kid and my dad was trying to teach me how to write Chinese characters, I hated it. I just wanted to like just be done with it, right? So really quickly, I just write.
Because especially for you, like when you use it, right? Because you don't use that school.
Exactly. So
for us, at least.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was necessary, right?
Right, yeah.
But my dad would make sure, he would watch over my shoulder that I had the stroke order like correct.
So I think that like we have to follow orders originally, I think, from China. Because like your dad, right?
Yeah.
You guys are very strict about like how you write. And of course we use Chinese character too. So it makes sense to, you know, we have to write down same way as like
and
Chinese
like you said,
do.
you can definitely tell that,
yeah.
Okay, this guy's stroke order was incorrect, right?
So his writing is good?
My dad's writing? Like beautiful or...
or artistic?
I think he used to do calligraphy as well. Like,
oh, cool.
Like you said, right? It's all...
The old generations.
Yeah, old generation. It's really serious. They take that really seriously.
Yeah.
So because they take it so seriously, Japanese characters also using Chinese characters, because there's so many strokes and you need to write it on such like a small space, small square or a small piece of paper. The Japanese use a finer tip pen than the normal ballpoint pen you can find in North America, right? So it requires a finer tip. So I read that Japan has a strong tradition of making or developing their citizens to have a love for handwriting from a young age. So when did you start writing like calligraphy, like brush in school?
Brush, I think we start grade 3.
Okay.
So age 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it like a separate subject?
Yes.
So it's not part of like the Japanese language?
No. It's a separate. Okay. That's the one class like we have.
Calligraphy class.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So teacher comes, like special teacher come, and then they're gonna teach us how to use the brush with the ink.
Okay.
With the paper, because it's whole one set. It's not notebook, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Yes.
So.
Okay, we'll touch on the tools of calligraphy later in our episode.
Yep.
What is that subject called then in Japan?
Shuji.
Shuji. Okay.
Yeah. So SHUJI. Shuji. Yeah.
How was it taught in school, handwriting?
Sorry?
Like how was handwriting taught in school? Like for me, I learned by like square paper that had all these squares.
Right. Yeah, same. Like the first step, they give us the paper with the line. So you know where's the center. Then obviously you have to make nice balance one character, right?
It can't be on one side of the square.
Exactly.
It has to be in the middle. Yeah.
So like from here, left on the top to go down, left down, and then you go like up right, and then you end right bottom. Okay,
so yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All the characters are, the starting point is in the top left, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
And then you go up to the right and then down again. That's true.
Normally.
I never thought of it like that. Yeah. Normally, yes.
And again, because like Yamanaka, Yama is basically like same side, same like.
It's like symmetrical.
Exactly. But so Yama is obviously like the longer bar in the middle. You start that first.
Yes.
But then you go left to right.
Yeah, that's right.
Then you finish right from. Yeah.
Okay. So, in school, your classmates, did everyone like try to flex on each other with their stationery? Like, yo, I got this new pen.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Because some kids is rich, they have nicer stuff. My family wasn't, so I all have like basic stuff.
Okay.
And you can tell difference, right?
Yes.
Even like the brush, expensive brush is like super nice feeling, like hand touch feeling. But mine was like so
Daiso brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in teaching in Japan, I noticed that my students, their pencil, like whenever we had to do any writing, they got so excited. And they would take out their pencil case, and like the pencil case was huge. Jam-packed full of pens. And I was thinking as a kid in Canada, I don't remember pencil cases having so much shit.
Right.
How many blue pens do you need?
Like normally Japanese kids, they have like 6 different pencil and then 1 or 2 different pens, eraser,
and colored pencils or gel pens, all like rainbow.
Yeah.
All the colors. Yeah. So, why has Japanese manufacturers dominated the stationery market? We read about it and we feel like it doesn't just apply to stationery.
No.
It applies to all Japanese companies, all Japanese manufacturing. The whole process is about quality, design, and innovation.
Yeah.
And with a big focus on functionality and practicality, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like any Japanese product, not just stationery, they really think of the user, how it feels, comfort, how functional is it, and then design. Anything made by Japanese companies is beautiful to look at.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you don't even want to use.
Yeah, right. You just want to use it to like as a decoration in your house, right? So in terms of stationery, I guess Japan loves anything kawaii.
Yeah.
Right. So pens, pencils, anything stationery, they will have like cute characters.
Cute characters. And then I would say, especially eraser.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different color of eraser, different kind, and different shape.
Yes.
Some eraser looks like a food.
Yeah,
for
sushi
sure there's
erasers.
like exactly sushi or like some character or like any type of stationery. But normally when you see like it looks like no useful product, then it's just by the view looks good. But Japanese one, it looks like no eraser, for example. But actually when you use it, it's still useful.
Very useful.
Exactly. So it's not just by looking.
I feel like in Japan, any surface of any product or anything, if they can put like Hello Kitty on it, Kitty-chan, they do it.
Yeah.
I always joke that like Sanrio, is it Sanrio that makes
Sanrio?
Yeah. Hello Kitty sold out. They have collaborations with everything, right?
Everything.
Even if you go to a convenience store, you can buy like Doraemon, Hello Kitty, like bread or like anything.
Yeah.
So again, besides stationery, Japanese manufacturers focus on like high quality products that are made to last, right? Like they're expected that I only have to buy this one product one time in my whole life. It should last me my life. So they have a high attention to detail, and I feel like Japanese manufacturers do a lot of research and innovation. They're always improving. So much so that there's this international stationery and office products fair. It's been running yearly for the last 33 years, and they have awards. Like stationery awards, the best pencil, the best pen.
Makes sense. There's so many. And again, like everything is not bad, but because of so much competition,
yes,
of course they go more, right?
Yeah, so with the competition, I feel like it's a very Japanese mindset that they feel like my company, my product should be number one. Anything less than number one is like failure.
Yeah. Has to be number one.
What are some stationery brands of Japan offhand can you think of? I know Zebra is a big one.
Zebra, Kokuyo, and Pilot, and Sharp, Tombow, Uni.
And a lot of these brands that you're mentioning, they're like smaller companies under like the big umbrella companies, right? So like Mitsubishi owns like Uni or something, right?
Yeah.
What other like big conglomerate companies are there in Japan? Like other than Mitsubishi, can you think of?
Sharp.
I thought Sharp was like British the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, Sharp.
Like I feel like Yamaha, for example, I think of them as motorcycles, but they also make instruments.
Yeah.
Right. So these Japanese companies,
because like Yamaha, it's I think originally they're making actually instrumental first.
Okay.
Then those technology they start using engines.
Okay.
And I think using for tractor or or for farmer.
Interesting.
But because of engine, right?
Yeah.
And then they start making motorcycle as well.
And like Mitsubishi, it's also a bank, right?
Mitsubishi is one of the biggest, how can I say? It's like a company, but owned by like the rich family originally. Mitsubishi they're making
airplanes. I didn't know that. So I'm guessing that's their last name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or some sort of company name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Japanese companies, they don't just focus on one thing. Eventually, they make all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I'm wanting to buy, for example, for starting this podcast, we needed to buy a camera, or just anything. I will look at the Japanese companies first.
Yeah.
Because I know if I buy a Japanese product, it's gonna be high quality.
And then it keep long.
Right?
Yeah.
And like if I can afford it, because in Japan it's obviously cheaper, but buying Japanese products here, I remember my parents growing up, any electronics, always Sony or Toshiba, like
TV, music player,
has to be. Anything else is like shit.
Yeah.
So obviously, if something is made in Japan, or made in China, or made in America, I would always choose the made in Japan. Obviously, you're the same.
Yeah, if I can afford.
Yeah.
And especially like a specific product like rice cooker.
Okay.
I have to buy Japanese brand.
Yes, same.
And kitchen product, the other one, like I buy a Saran Wrap.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's more thick.
I never
Yeah.
Because Saran Wrap, I just buy like North American brands Saran Wrap.
Yeah.
But I will buy Japanese Saran Wrap.
Yeah. I felt different. Also, my girlfriend always says toothbrush.
Really?
Yeah. She always even pushed me to like, why don't you sell toothbrush?
Japanese toothbrush.
Japanese toothbrush heads are very small, and obviously they innovated.
Yeah.
So they know how human brush teeth.
Okay.
And some toothbrush even has between the handle and neck.
Yeah.
There's some like how to say it's like a click point.
Like
so
flexes.
And then if you
go
too hard, it cracks.
What?
So that means like you're too hard.
Okay, my next toothbrush, I'm gonna buy a Japanese toothbrush.
But it's hard to find out. That's also why. Like my girlfriend asked her mom to send bunch.
Really?
Then she gave me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the Japanese dollar stores over here?
No, I don't know why. Well, I think because I researched it, and it's because of it's how to say, it's a medical product, so you have to have the license.
Oh.
So I don't think it's easy to bring in.
Okay.
Yeah.
If any of our listeners have a connection to Japanese toothbrushes, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, what other Japanese products besides electronics? Because for me, electronics, I'll always want to choose Japanese if possible. Towels.
Yeah.
Fluffier,
also,
more absorbent.
Wow, the feeling is different.
Okay.
Of course, more absorbent.
Okay.
There's one famous towel province. I think it's called Imabari.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my girlfriend has a bunch of towels from them too.
Yeah.
It feels so different.
Interesting.
It's like a cotton.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I remember as a kid growing up, when we have dinner, my mom loved to use Japanese chopsticks. Because like the Chinese chopsticks are like thicker.
Yeah.
Right? But the Japanese chopsticks are like more pointy at the food end, right?
Yeah. Same.
And it feels more elegant. And also I feel like better control.
Easy. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah,
Definitely it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it's easier because it's thinner.
But
it is.
It is.
It is, yeah. You can be more accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
And for the people that are not so good at using chopsticks, you can just stab it easier because it's pointier.
Because it's pointy. Yeah. It's thinner.
Yeah.
That's true.
But going to that, if you saw someone use chopsticks like that, stabbing, do you judge?
Of course.
Me too.
Don't.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, my mom gonna slap my hand.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You're not gonna poke any food.
They say why Asian people live longer. A reason why is also because they use chopsticks. Because when you use chopsticks, it requires like brain power.
Okay.
Like, for example, a spoon, a fork. A fork, you just have to stab. A spoon, you just have to lift up. But for chopsticks, you need to actually look at the shape of the food and decide where is the best angle to attack to pick it up, right? The broad side and dexterity, right? Hand-eye coordination. I'm not just scooping food into my mouth.
But what about knife and fork? It's kind of like
knife and fork. Yeah, okay.
Right?
It's two hands too, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's easier. I don't know. Another reason why people think that Asian people live longer is because they play mahjong. Even because old people play it, right? So it's constantly like.
Well, like use your brain, right?
Yeah.
You have to count. You have to count the point. You have to remember all the.
Right. Yeah. And it's about money, so they take it seriously.
Makes sense.
Would you say Japanese products are affordable in Japan? Like,
yes, yeah.
Right? You don't feel like, oh, it's super, super expensive.
No.
Right? Yeah, that's what I feel as well. Like, it's so innovative. It's such high quality, but they're not price gouging customers.
No.
They're not trying to take advantage customers, right?
It's always fair price, I think. So if you think something expensive, but that means that there's some technology into it. Right?
Yes.
Like, for example, there's
a reason why.
Exactly. Different level of rice cooker price range. But obviously, if you go cheaper and then like very basic system in it. But if you buy expensive rice cooker, then you have so many options. You can cook like porridge, and you can cook brown rice,
you can
mochi rice. Cake. I know some rice cooker you can even make a bread.
Yes. I've seen those. Soup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's go back to talking about stationery.
Yep.
So, specifically, some of the innovative stationery products that we found, we're just going to quickly run down for you guys.
Yep.
So, the Japanese invented gel pens. So, I guess gel pens is like a smoother right?
Yeah.
They invented the stapleless stapler. So you don't need a metal staple. It like punches like a hole in the paper, and then it creates a flap, which you lift up the flap in it.
And by the way, staple in Japanese we call hochikis. So I don't know. This
slower though. What is
hochikis?
Hochikis. Okay.
Hochikis.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like,
I don't know why it's hochikis.
Kiss. Is it like Japanglish?
I think so. Hochikis is the one word.
Hochikis.
So like, if you need a staple, then well, if I need a staple and then I ask you like, hochikis dogo?
Okay,
hochikis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The Japanese didn't invent the mechanical pencil, but they've definitely improved it. That's another thing. If the Japanese, they don't have to invent something, but if they start manufacturing a product, they will improve it.
Yeah.
They will improve it and pretty much make it their own.
That's the Toyota's one of the main thing, Kaizen.
Okay.
Kaizen means, like always improving.
Yeah. Constant improvement.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they have a mechanical pencil that as you write, the lead rotates. So you will always have a perfect writing edge. That's crazy.
You don't have to like
rotate it in your hand. That's too much work.
Yeah.
But it's just like small details like that, right? The Japanese, like, they think of that and they think of ways to improve it. Just I would never think of.
Yeah,
you needed to improve
I never
that
think
point.
of it, but when I heard, and then if I use those, then I'm like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Right?
All right, another one is they have a highlighter where the tip of the highlighter, there's a window, so you can see as you are highlighting.
Oh.
So I guess when you're highlighting something, the tip also covers what you're highlighting.
So you don't know where to go?
You don't know when to stop, maybe, or I don't know.
But this has small window?
Yeah, so you can see as you're highlighting. They invented erasable pens.
Right.
Pen ink that is erasable.
Yeah, that I got a little bit of side history.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's called friction pen.
Okay.
And then it was invented, obviously Japanese company, and then start selling in Europe before Japan. Why?
Okay.
Because in Europe, a lot of students, they use pen besides pencil.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I can see that.
But for them, it's obviously they can't erase.
Yes.
So they always have to use
Whiteout
or whatever.
correction tape or whatever. Yeah.
But because of this friction pen hits in Europe, and then everybody loved it, and then start using, and they sold 2 billion pens.
Wow.
In 2006.
In 1 year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that much I guess they know how people want it, like extra small detail, right? Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like because in Europe they make more mistakes.
No, that I don't know.
The Japanese don't make mistakes. We don't need erasable pens.
I guess Japanese make more mistake, but we know how to hide.
Another one is glue tape.
Okay.
So they invented like, as a kid growing up, we used whiteout, like the white ink to like brush on when you make mistakes with pen. And then I think later they have correction tape. So I think I started using that in university actually, not even in high school.
It's like a small tape in it, and then you...
Exactly.
Right.
So much smoother, right? And because when you use whiteout, the surface becomes really bumpy.
Of course.
And when you write over it, it's ugly, right?
And also you have to wait till it dries up.
That's true.
Otherwise, you put your hand and then like, oh,
that's
shit.
True. Yeah. So I wonder if like kids nowadays even know what that liquid
I think
stuff is.
Nowadays it's different story, no?
Yeah.
They all have iPad.
That's true. That's
true.
Except in Japan, it's still paper based, right?
Yeah.
And it smelled like you can get high off of it.
Yeah. So for sure.
So they have so they have glue tape, so correction tape, but it's glue. They also innovated the retractable fountain pen, so it's less messy, and the plastic eraser.
Yeah. So this I research, and original eraser was made in England in 1770, but they use natural rubber.
Okay.
So it's good, but it says very expensive because of the product.
Yes,
right?
yes. Okay.
So then 1959, again, one of Japanese company, they invented the plastic eraser.
A cheaper way.
And also obviously it's useful.
Yes.
And now everywhere. Like I think now what we use eraser is the plastic one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You rarely see that rubber eraser anymore.
Yeah. I don't think almost zero.
Maybe on top of pencils?
Maybe.
I don't know.
And for the eraser in Japan, they had one special eraser called Matomaru-kun.
Okay.
Matomaru means it gather.
Okay.
All the bits.
All the eraser bits, yes.
Exactly. So because normal eraser.
Yeah, you get a lot of bits. Yeah.
But this Matomaru-kun, everything together. Yeah. So easy to clean.
So as you're erasing, it sticks. The eraser bits
those bits stick together. So it's always one. And I remember we get all together making ball and play with people.
I wish I had that as a kid, because when this is bringing back like traumatic memories though. When my dad was teaching me how to write Chinese characters, first of all, he was really like a clean and neat person where he didn't want me to erase. Not because, oh, you made a mistake. It's because of the eraser bits.
Oh.
He's like, it's dirty. And especially as I'm a kid, I'm racing on the desk and then I'm just going to use my hand and like fling it onto the floor. So he would always make me like, okay, if you're going to use your eraser, write under newspaper. So then you can just lift the paper up
and then throw away.
Yeah.
So if your dad knows about Matomaru-kun,
yeah,
easy.
Exactly. I never had to get yelled at.
Yeah.
Another thing that the Japanese invented, I guess, is washi tape. We talked about it before. Decorative tape. Oh man, you go to Japan, the stationery section, crazy amounts of tape. Like all sorts of characters, all sorts of colors,
designs.
To me, I want my tape clear. I want my tape so you can't see it. But for them, people even collect this tape.
Like I heard
my sister.
Yeah.
Last time I went into her office and she had like 3 drawers full of perfectly lined up, organized different washi tapes.
When she use it?
Right? I don't even know. I asked her. So she uses it to like seal the back of an envelope or whatever.
Okay.
But
so
if
it's cute.
It's cute. Exactly. But if I'm sending someone a letter, I feel like nowadays it's like professional or
exactly, right?
It's like, yeah, serious.
Yeah.
I don't want like a Doraemon
I know
shape on it.
I want something like I'm serious.
Yeah, right. Our last thing is the brush pen.
Right.
Fude pen.
Fude means brush. Yeah.
So doing Japanese calligraphy, the fude pen is more innovative. I don't need to use ink.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
need to bring a brush.
Ink is already in a pen.
Yeah, right.
And then always comes to the brush, and
you can get the same calligraphy stroke feel, the brush
like a shodo
feel.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings us to Japanese calligraphy. So you said shodo style. Calligraphy in Japan is called shodo.
Yeah.
So let's quickly run down some tools or stationary items required to do calligraphy.
Sure.
Obviously, the brush.
Yeah, fude.
Different shapes, sizes, lengths.
Different material for the brush. I know most expensive one is from
horsehair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So animal hair, right? Goats, sheep, horses. The nicest ones are human hair, I heard. No, I'm
right.
kidding.
Yeah.
Sure. Is that for real?
I think that's also, yeah.
I was joking.
Some brush is actually from human.
Wow.
Because it's very, and I think Asian hair is always the best one.
Okay.
It's thin and.
That's a random point, but I think like wigs, the best human hair wigs are wigs from India. Because Indian hair is so thick and luscious, and the hair is like, they have the best hair apparently.
And natural.
Natural, yeah. Naturally thick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Wow.
And the handles can be made wood, bamboo, plastic, right? So the rich kids in your class, what's the most expensive handle?
Handle?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I think some of them have like animal horns or.
Oh wow! I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's even legal now. So.
Or like cow shin bone. Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Next is the ink stick.
Yeah. Sumi.
So traditionally, you don't use like just like liquid ink and you just pour it, right?
Yeah, traditional one is, how can I say? It's like a small, it's like a USB stick.
Okay.
Size.
Okay.
Then you grade it.
Okay. So
yeah,
the ink stick, sumi, is made from a hardened mixture of vegetable and pine soot. And apparently the best ink sticks are between 50 and 100 years old.
Wow.
So I guess
aged?
Yeah, aged.
Wow.
Aged.
Anything aged.
Right?
Only
vintage
human
ink.
when it aged.
Yeah, it's
people
not good,
don't
right?
like it.
Well, more wisdom.
Yeah.
Next is the paper, specifically mulberry paper. Interesting. Washi paper. And then you have the inkstone. Suzuri. And that's what you're talking about.
Exactly. When you graded your sumi.
So you grade the sumi on the ink stone.
On Suzuri. Because Suzuri, it's like I would say like bigger iPhone size.
Okay.
And then has the flat spot through, how can I say, like a bump.
Like ridges, bumpy ridges. Okay.
So like you put the water, then you graded the sumi stick into the water. Then you can get all the sumi.
Obviously, there's like experience and expertise needed in terms of like how much water to use.
Exactly.
Right? It can't be too runny. It can't be too thick.
That we learned that too.
Okay.
But at the end, we start using bokuju, which is the sumi ink liquid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the younger generation doesn't know how hard it is.
No. Yeah.
No. Paperweight.
Bunchin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a cloth to place under the paper.
Yeah. Shitajiki. You have to have it.
You have to have it.
Because like you use the ink. I mean like if you know how to do it, of course you write quick.
Yeah.
So that ink won't go
through the paper.
But
and I guess you know how much ink to put on your brush as well, right?
That's as well, right?
Okay.
But for the beginner, of course, like first couple times, like your ink going down, and then like if you don't have that.
So you can tell like the skill of the artist by if there's any like ink drops that fall down, you know that they use too much ink. And it's ugly, right?
Also, I think the feeling as well for the cross, like.
True.
You don't want to have like hard surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
And a seal.
In. Yeah. But in is, I think, mostly for like a professional people.
Okay.
Like that's their art. So
I know in Chinese culture, it's normally with red ink.
Exactly.
Is it the same?
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
All right. So that about does it, no?
Yeah.
For our episode on calligraphy. When we decided to do this episode, I didn't think that we would have enough material to talk about, but it's
a lot.
Anything Japanese, man, like you get into it, you start talking.
And this was actually one of our listener talking about.
Exactly. They gave us the idea.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully you're listening now.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you want to add more information, obviously give us more information, or you know.
Or if it's not detailed enough, let us know, and we'll do a stationery part 2.
Yeah, but I guess most of other listeners, if they don't know about Japanese stationery, you guys have some idea now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I feel like any Japanophile from outside of Japan, they recognize how good Japanese stationery is, right? All right, so that brings us to our next segment. We have 2 segments, Japanglish and Street Level Japanese today. Both are a little bit shorter. The Japanglish one we decided to add on to this episode because we thought of 3 Japanglish words that are fitting to the stationery episode. So in Japan, you guys don't call notebooks.
Especially like small one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys call them
memo.
Memo
取って
So in English, I suppose, a memo is like a short little note you give to someone to like tell them to do something at work or something like that. But you guys call notebooks memos.
Yeah.
The next one is mechanical pencils. You guys call them
sharp pen. It's actually sharp pencil.
Sharp pencil. You shortened it.
But we shortened it sharp pen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's because
of the Sharp, the company invented first mechanical pencil in Japan.
So
and then we took the Sharp and they make Ever Sharp whatever the name, I forgot.
Okay.
But they put the sharp on the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharp pen. Shaw pen.
Shaw pen.
Shaw pen. And the next one is in English, you see a celebrity on the street, you can ask them for their autograph. You see your favorite basketball player when you go watch the game, the stadium, you ask for the autograph.
Yeah.
You guys say
サインください。
sign.
サインください。
So you ask for their signature.
Yeah.
Sign.
Yeah. I think that was like when I came here, I saw one of the like musician artists. Then I got autograph.
Okay.
Then I told my friends, Canadian friends, I got a sign. And I was like, what?
What sign?
Yeah, what sign? Like what? And I was like, well, how to say this?
Yeah.
I'm like, autograph.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see the connection though.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for our Japanglish segment. Next is street level Japanese.
Yeah.
So street level Japanese, a very simple one. Not everyone, but a lot of people know how to say thank you in Japanese, right? So formally, it is
ありがとうございます。
But how about that song, that 80s song? Is it kind of racist now? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto. Yeah.
Domo means like very, right?
Yeah. Domo arigato.
So is that more formal? Domo arigato gozaimasu?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, if my boss did something to me, then I want to thank, then I say, domo arigato gozaimasu.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like the longer you
it's
say
always
something,
more
it's all
formal.
right. You took the time
Exactly.
to say more,
And
right?
like tene, it's more polite and
So
efficient.
super formal, domo arigato
Domo arigato
gozaimasu.
gozaimasu.
Formal, arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Informal,
Arigato.
arigato. And the informal way, arigato, use it for friends, family.
Friends and family.
Okay.
Yeah. Like close people.
And then a very, very casual way. I used to love saying this because it sounded funny and cool. Is
Azas.
azas. And that's very casual.
Very casual. I always use for like you or if I'm working with someone, they're younger than me, but obviously I don't want to give them stress or I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
Azas is kind of very friendly.
Okay,
and
like we're friends, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like it's nice. Like
Okay.
I said like Azas. So that means they're like, oh.
Yeah, you should
Domo,
as a friend,
domo.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Would you use azas to your family even?
Not to my family.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't need to. My family, I always say arigato.
Okay.
Yeah.
So azas is super, super informal.
Informal.
If you said that to your like boss, is that rude? Super rude?
Boss rude, but if you're close to the boss, like a friend, and then they do something good, you might can say azas.
It's like a playful way.
Exactly.
You make them like lower their guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not gonna say like suddenly like, oh, azas. No.
Okay, so to quickly recap, super formal,
どうもありがとうございます。
formal,
ありがとうございます。
informal,
ありがとう。
casual, very casual.
あざっす。
Azas.
あざっす。
So that does it for today's episode. Azas for listening.
あざっす for listening.
Again, please rate, review, subscribe to all our social media. Apparently, it really helps new listeners to organically find our podcast. So, thank you again.
Thank you. ありがとう。
And see you next episode.
はい。どうもありがとうございます。
Wow.
バイバイ。
Bye.